Let me, using this chapter here, I want to bring another point up in Bible prophecy. Many people takes and they study the Bible and obtain the wisdom therein. But it would be impossible to understand the complete meaning of Bible prophecy without understanding the nature of the end of God, without understanding the chain of command of the military forces who of nations who use weapons to as a defense mechanism or as a part of an aggression. It will be virtually impossible. We must know the nature of the beast, good and evil, because all these transcend into the symbols used to identify certain behaviors of certain nations. This is why God used beasts and so many times. The lion, we must understand the lion. The lion is a creature who tears and breaks into pieces. He don't chew his food. He breaks into pieces. So when God is using this as a means of Bible prophecy is written in a symbol, this will let us know what kind of weapons being used and how they are being used. Now, after the cross, after Jesus had risen back and gone to his heaven, gone to his Father in heaven, there was things spoken of by Daniel the prophet and the prophecy of Daniel chapter 2, which contemplate the meaning of this symbol. Let me go back to this one more time, because the common denominator lied even after the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Daniel chapter 2, because I got to connect this on the other side of Bible prophecy. Daniel chapter 2, as Daniel was speaking to Nebuchadnezzar, reminded him, telling him the significance of the dream, the vision that God had given him. This was before Jesus was born. Daniel chapter 2, verse 31. It said, "Thou, O king, sawest and beheld a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible." This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arm of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till a stone was cut out without hand, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the shaft of the summer threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no man was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell thee the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, but the God of heaven has given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven has he given into thy hand, and has made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear ruler over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes part of pottery clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Okay. Let me give you significance of that. Let's break this down in about two parts, I'd say, before we get here, because this has something to do with the United States of America, the United Nations, United States military fighting forces, military hardware, and the foot soldiers, which is the correct. The rich man has no power of his own because he is a few pieces. The silver nation, which is a secondary rich nation, like the top nation, have no power upon him because he is a smaller. He's just another nation. He's just a small part of this earth. The brass, in like manner, is smaller because he has to take orders from the silver and the gold. He is even smaller than the two. But only the iron and the foot soldiers, which is the clay, is the strength of the United Nations military fighting forces. These have no power of their own, but there is rule. The head of gold is a symbol of wealth. This symbolize, and it is more precious than silver. This symbolize the head of gold is being the greatest nation upon the richest nation upon the face of earth, which connects this prophecy with the United States of America. It is the brainchild of the nations. That being the head. It's the dictator of all of these wars. That's why where the mind is. Now, as the silver being the next part given by God, as the head rest upon nation, these are supported nations that support this head of gold, and by silver being a wealth, but less wealth, these are the next wealthiest nations supporting the wealthiest nations. So these become United Nations of wealth. This is what Chinese was talking about the other day when they spoke concerning this same matter. When they boycotted this year about the environmental protection, the greenhouse gas, they was imposing the thing that will upon the poorest nation, because the poorest nation is hopeless. They don't have a military infrastructure capable of defeating these wealthy nations. So they want to set the rules and regulations of this greenhouse gas in their favor, where they can continue to exploit the world, but yet make it a law that the poorest of the nation cannot. And China didn't like this. This is where we go.